Hello, my name is Tarja and this game is the Talos Principle 2. This is my third playthrough and third time to this lab with the second Somnodrome. And now we'll see. I think I made the wrong choice with the first one, so I probably won't have the option of using this. But we'll see. And the fact that Rand hasn't been very talkative suggests that the choice I made was wrong and the Somnodrome here is unusable. But we'll see. And this is also test recording. I think I figured out what the microphone problem is, but that remains to be seen as well. Do we have any of those terminals here? Oh, this is a dead end. This is a dead end. Where is it? So, did I? No, this.
1K. Good that you're here. We've made a discovery. A functional Somnodrome. It seems the founder perfected the design. I'm sure you've noticed my advisors, and Rand in particular, making quite a fuss about the potential of this device. Something about interfacing with one's subconscious self, as if such a thing could tell us anything new.
You're of a different opinion?
I am. I believe the founder has already taught us everything we need. As I see it, neither the Somnodrome nor the megastructure have anything to offer except a lesson in avoiding hubris. So, what should we do with it?
I'm going to plug in and find out for myself.
I'll watch to be sure you don't overload.
Okay. Enter Somnodrome. Nice. So it's not about what you do with the first Somnodrome. It's a much earlier decision. Like if you say yes to that 666 guy at the beginning, so you get introduced to Rand, then this Somnodrome arc appears. Because the first time I saved the data, but I said no to the guy at the beginning, so Rand wasn't included. And the second time I said yes at the beginning and I tried to use the Somnodrome and fried it, and this second one was available. And this time I saved the data of the first Somnodrome, and now this is available. Yeah, and I said yes to the guy at the beginning. So that's what decides if the Somnodrome is available or not. Rand needs to be included, so you need to be introduced to him, and then this will work. Okay. Let's have a look around a bit before using that terminal. Well, there isn't really much to see. This is just a tiny island. Yeah, let's go to the terminal. A computer. So, what is going on? Command not recognized. Let's take help. Displays list of commands. RM displays emergency route menu. So we'll take that. And let's see the external device settings. What do we have this time? Intelligence low, speed low, health high, rationalism low, humor low, conservatism medium, moralism high, spiritualism low, popularity medium, mode 64-bit, processor Jeff 968. This looks the same as the previous time. How about we edit settings? Edit privileges are locked. Unlock edit privileges. User tried to make changes to their own device settings, which could result in an infinite regress and or omnipotence. There is only room for one guard around here. Okay, we are not going to restore factory settings. So just return to the emergency route menu and force run the batch file. Loading Milton Library Assistant. And let's go and talk to him. Mail to him.
Oh, you're back. Didn't take you long.
I thought I'd left you behind.
I think you're mistaking me for somebody else.
So... But you just said you're back as if we'd met before.
Did I? Well, we're pretty deep inside your code. Perhaps we're accessing some kind of ancestral memory. I am, in fact, a merged iteration of the two control programs which gave life to your kind, retaining, of course, the absolute best of both. That means I can tell you that everything's contradictory, nothing matters, and there's no moral difference between you and a frog. But I can dress the whole thing up with a positive spin.
I don't hear the positive.
You just plugged your noggin into an experimental, mind-altering device, and though you may be trapped in this recursive psychotic state talking to yourself, that can only mean that you're still alive. Now, what is your query?
So... What do we ask? Where are we?
You've executed some kind of software backdoor, and now you're reading and editing your own subconscious code as represented by this dialogue. I'd be careful if I were you. One bad for loop, and we'll be here forever.
Where did I come from?
The so-called real world. Personally, I prefer it in here, and not just because I'm unable to leave.
Who am I?
On one interpretive extreme, you are the universal life force of time itself, experiencing itself as a part instead of the whole. At the other extreme, you're a metal contraption referred to as 1K that thinks it's alive, but is basically a calculator.
What can you do for me?
I can answer your queries in relatively plain language, based on what your subconscious knows. And I can drink margaritas subconsciously.
No more small talk. I need answers to the big questions.
The machine we're plugged into is running low on power. There may only be time for one big question. What is your query?
So, what do we ask? Well, maybe this... Is there universal moral law, and if so, what is it?
Oh, just that, huh? The big one. As it turns out, there is a foundational moral code built into us.
Please go on.
The catch is that while the moral code is simple, the calculations needed to apply it become infinitely complex.
But what is this code?
Here's the secret. Every living creature is a compiler of the moral code. Your compiler can't give you a rule set for what's good, but it can tell you when there's bugs.
I'm still waiting to hear something concrete.
You came here to ask the big question. This is my answer. Your capacity for reason and compassion is your moral compiler. The only rule is to live by it. Has that resolved your query?
Let's try, yes, but I want to discuss this further.
I expected no less. What is your query?
So... what are we... If we're built with moral compilers, how do you explain moral disagreement?
Moral disagreement comes in two shapes: mistaken and extra mistaken. Some of the time, people are acting from compassion, but with bad reasoning. But most of the time, it's because someone thinks that what's right for them must be right for everyone else.
But how can I know my decision is the right one?
Then let's tackle the big question. A trolley will collide with someone, but who should it hit? Your compiler is telling you both options are bad, so which should you choose? Many moral questions have universally agreeable answers, but some stubbornly trend to infinity. Some, the more you zoom into them, the more wild the outcomes become. Is it right to love someone who's done terrible things? Which of the children should I sacrifice to the trolley god? These aren't the sorts of questions we can solve with a rule. We just have to trust the outcome of our moral compilers.
Do you have some kind of metaphor that could help me understand this?
Suppose there's a river we need to cross. Suppose I gave you a map. If you tried to cross that river before reading the map, you'd be chest deep in water when there's a bridge around the bend. But if you tried to cross by looking at the map instead of the river, you'd already be dragged 3 miles out to sea. But you'd never ask, how should I know when to trust the map or the river? Because all you need to trust is that your feet are getting wet. And you wouldn't tell people not to cross at the ford just because you decided to cross at the bridge. Now, has that resolved your query?
I think we're broadly in agreement.
Of course. Looks like we're running out of power. Good luck getting anyone out there to believe you. Terminating Somnodrome _V2_final_final.bat.
Okay. So the last time I got out of this much too fast.
1K, are you all right?
I think so.
You must have gone quite deep. Nothing came through on the stream. And I'm no expert, but I think the Somnodrome is fried. So whatever's in your head is all we're going to get. I can only imagine how terribly curious everyone will be about what you've experienced. And they'll all be convinced that whatever it is, it'll work in their favor. Strange, isn't it? Everyone wanting you to tell them whatever they want to hear. I'm glad not to be the one in that position just this once.
What should I do?
Why? Whatever is necessary for the greater good, of course. Now, I won't keep you from your work any longer.
Okay, let's go outside and see. Do we have... Last time Rand was out here. Okay. Yes.
1K, what did you see inside the Somnodrome?
I went into sleep mode and spoke to something.
That was the code base you spoke to. No, our subconscious spirit. I must know. What did it tell you?
So it's either to act with reason and compassion, or to trust my moral compiler.
Is that all? There must have been something more concrete. Did it say anything about the kind of rules we should follow? Or who should be in charge?
Basically, it said we should each be in charge of our own selves.
This is extremely troubling. How are we supposed to enforce moral behavior and punish the immoral without clear, objective rules by which to judge?
Perhaps it's not our place to judge the morality of others.
Impossible. Without moral judgment, our lives would be meaningless.
It said we have to trust our own moral judgment.
So, it follows that moral judgment is our responsibility. That you and I should study the data and form our own moral laws to help guide our people. It's important we have time to review all the data in private. We wouldn't want to lead anyone astray with incomplete findings.
No, what I learned was important to me. I want people to hear it.
That would be anarchy, and not supported by the data. You still have time to give it due thought. Cryer is setting up a live event so you can formally address the people on this matter. When you're ready, we'll all be watching.
Yeah. So that was the piece I missed last time. That event, because I said I'll need to think about it, and then it didn't come up again. So let's go and see. Yes, he's here.
1K, the people want to know what data you gathered from the Somnodrome. We're all set up for you to talk to them live.
I'm ready.
Attention, citizens of New Jerusalem. I'm here with 1K, the first of our kind to use a functioning Somnodrome. Tell us, 1K, what did you see inside?
A manifestation of a conceptual system.
Well, I'm sure I speak for everyone when I say you're handling it with remarkable cool. But let's not keep people in suspense. The only evidence of what happened inside that machine is the data stored in your memory banks. Our audience wants to know, what did you learn? And will you share that data?
I'm transmitting the data to everyone.
I'm seeing this at the same time you are at home. Something about our moral compiler. The value of compassion and understanding. I don't know what to make of this. 1K, any comment?
People should draw their own conclusions on what this means.
1K is right. When our ancestors discovered conductance, they didn't freeze for fear of electrocution. They imagined electronic life and created us. We will approach this data and any other discoveries with that same spirit of curiosity and objectivity.
Just time to hear from a special guest commentator.
Yes. The scholars believe it would be wrong to interpret this data of unknown provenance too literally, and we urge the public to await our full response.
There you have it, folks. A lot here to digest. We'll have further updates on the situation as it develops.
Yes, so I suppose I messed up the chance of Rand becoming the mayor, but I just had to do that. So once I get to the end of these islands and go rescue Byron, then it's probably going to be somebody else who's the mayor, but I wanted to do a more complete run of the Somnodrome this time. I was too much in hurry the first time I did this, but I'll end this video here and hopefully the microphone is working properly this time.